Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Meha Bhardwaj Alter. This is Game On. This is where you get the latest from the world of sports, all the top headlines, the biggest match action, all the results from the matches that have happened yesterday, overnight, or for that matter, today. We have Abhishek Sharma, the star of the match in the first T20. We're going to be talking about him, as well as Varun Chakravarti, who set up that victory for India against England. But we've got to begin with the stars who were participating in the Ranji Trophy. And after the debacle in Australia, where India lost the Border Gavaskar Trophy 3-1, all eyes on the Indian superstars as they made their return to Ranji Trophy. Well, there was no respite for them though. Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill and Rishabh Pant, all of them failed to make an impact during their return to Ranji Trophy cricket. Indian captain, who's been woefully out of form, was dismissed for just 3 runs off 19 balls against Jammu and Kashmir. Both Rohit and Yashasvi Jaiswal, they opened the innings for Mumbai against Jammu and Kashmir. But the duo failed to go big, with the J&K bowlers striking early within the first 6 overs. Jaiswal was the first to fall, as he was dismissed via leg before wicket to the pacer from Jammu and Kashmir, Aqib Nabi, for 4 runs. Despite coming into this domestic tournament after an impressive tour to Australia, the young southpaw failed to make the most out of this opportunity. Rohit Sharma, he looked to take things slow and play watchfully. And he did last 19 balls. But Mir bowled a length delivery outside the off stump. And Rohit looked to play a pickup shot, the one that he loves playing, only to edge to the fielder in the extra cover region for a simple catch. And the Indian captain had to walk back to the pavilion for just 3 runs. Now, let's also talk about Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill, who's been batting at number 3 for the Indian Test team, he partnered with Prabsimran Singh instead to open the innings for Punjab in their ongoing clash against Karnataka at the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru. But his innings were also short-lived, as he edged 1 to the keeper to be out for just 4 runs of 8 deliveries. Now, let's move on to Delhi. Rishabh Pant, who was also making his return to the Ranji Trophy for Delhi, he had a disappointing first innings as well, as he could only muster 1 run of 10 balls before losing his wicket to Dharmendra Singh Jadeja. And talking about another Jadeja, Ravindra Jadeja, he did well though in that match, picking up 5 wickets. But Indian stars otherwise, they've made themselves available for Ranji Trophy after the BCCI made the contracted players' participation in domestic cricket mandatory. But the first day of Ranji Trophy hasn't gone according to the plan for these players. What's next? We'll of course be keeping a close eye on them. But remember, all of these are preparations as they look ahead to the big Champions Trophy. Now, let's talk about the match from last night and what was an absolutely incredible display of batting. Abhishek Sharma, he put on a sensational show in the first T20I between India and England on Wednesday in Kolkata. The Sunrisers Hyderabad star, who's been a bit of a hit-and-miss player in India colours. He was in devastating form, smashing an incredible 79 runs of just 34 balls. His performance helped India race to 133 for 3 in just 12.5 overs, chasing down a modest target of 132 set by England. So it was a low-scoring chase, but Abhishek's fireworks in the middle lit up the Eden Gardens crowd. He took on the challenge right from the start with a stunning boundary and a 6 off comeback man, Jofra Archer, in the 3rd over, keeping the run rate at a steady 11 runs per over. Despite losing Sanju Samson and captain Suryakumar Yadav in quick succession, Abhishek wasn't fazed. He powered through, smashing 2 sixes and a boundary in the final over of the power play, leaving India at a comfortable 63 for 2 after 6 overs, needing just 70 runs from 84 balls. Abhishek's batting was nothing short of a masterclass, as he brought up his half-century in just 20 balls with a swivel pull for a maximum of leg spinner Adil Rashid. Not stopping there, he continued to attack, slamming Liam Livingstone for a boundary and then taking India's total past 100 in just 10 overs. He even treated Gus Atkinson to a 6 and a 4 in the 11th over before finally falling to Rashid in the 12th. But by then, India's target was in single figures. The job was done. After the match, Abhishek was quick to credit some of the cricketing legends who played a big role in shaping his career. He spoke about his lucky experience working with the likes of Yuvraj Singh, Brian Lara and Dan Vittori, who have all helped him express himself freely on the field. He said, and I quote, "I was working with UV Paji at first. Going forward, I had Brian Lara, who really helped me at SRH. Dan Vittori was pretty simple. He just wanted everyone to express themselves, and I think that gave me the freedom to play my shots. So obviously, with Yuvraj Singh, Brian Lara, and even Gauti Bai right now, they just want me to showcase my talent, the way I play, and to back myself." Now, despite starring with a bat, Abhishek Sharma gave credit to mystery spinner Varun Chakravarti, saying he was the one who changed the game for the side when he came on to bowl. Despite early blows, England raced to 46 for 2 after just 6 overs. They further attacked Akshar Patel after the power play. However, Varun Chakravarti, he came after that, and he removed Harry Brook and Liam Livingstone in the next over to get India back on track. Chakravarti finally dismissed England's lone warrior, Jos Buttler, in the 17th over, which was the final nail, really, in the coffin for England, and the leg spinner conceded just 23 runs in 4 overs. Now, if you look at his T20I stats, in 14 T20Is, the leg spinner now owns 22 wickets at an incredible average of just 16.63. He is one of the few Indian players with a 5-wicket haul in the format. Chakravarti had made a strong comeback to international cricket with a 3-wicket haul against Bangladesh last year. That's not all. He's also been in fine form in Vijay Hazare Trophy this month as he finished as joint second highest wicket taker, taking 18 wickets in just 6 games. The question to ask now is, did Indian selectors miss a trick by not selecting him for the Champions Trophy? And while you think about that question, we move on and shift our focus to Australian Open, because it seems like there is a controversy brewing there. After Novak Djokovic, Australian Open semi-finalist Ben Shelton, he has taken the Grand Slam's on-court interviewers to task for being disrespectful to players. Shelton reached his first semi-final at Melbourne Park yesterday with a 4-set win over Italian Lorenzo Sonego at the Rod Laver Arena. Now, he was interviewed on court by Australian former Davis Cupper John Fitzgerald, who suggested no one would be cheering for the American in his semi-final, with his opponent yet to be confirmed between defending champion Yannick Sinner or local hope Alex de Minaur. Now, Sinner later beat de Minaur in straight sets in the evening session at the Rod Laver Arena. On court, Sheldon laughed off the comment and said home fans were welcome to boo him or throw stuff at his head if they are supporting de Minaur. But he was scathing in his post-match press conference. He said, and I quote, "I've been a little bit shocked this week with how players have been treated by the broadcasters. I don't think that the guy who mocked Novak Djokovic, I don't think that was just a single event. I have noticed it with different people, not just myself." Djokovic was annoyed by the comments made by Australian broadcaster Tony Jones on TV, saying the serve was overrated and a has-been. Djokovic then declined to do the customary on-court interview after his 4th-round victory over Jiri Lahika on Sunday, pending a public apology from Jones. Jones did finally apologize, but Sheldon said he was also put off during his post-match interview after playing 38-year-old Frenchman Gain Monfils in the 4th round. He said, and I quote, "There are some comments that have been made to me in post-match interviews by a couple of different guys, whether it was, hey, Gain Monfils is old enough to be your dad. Maybe he is your dad. Or today on the court, hey Ben, how does it feel that no matter who you play in your next match, no one's going to be cheering for you?" I mean, it may be true, but I just don't think the comment is respectful from a guy I have never met before in my life. Shelton signed off by saying broadcasters should help grow the sport and help athletes who won matches on the biggest stage to enjoy one of their biggest moments instead of putting them on the spot. Okay, we've got to move on to football and Champions League action, of course. Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti was delighted with the form of his attackers after his side thrashed Salzburg 5-1 in the Champions League late last night. But he said that fixing his team's problems in defense was still a work in progress. Ancelotti heaped praise on his forwards, with Brazilians Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo scoring twice either side off a goal by Kylian Mbappe as last year's winner secured a spot in the knockout stage. Ancelotti lamented the slow start Real made to their Champions League title defence after they lost 3 of their first 5 matches, which left them facing a difficult task to secure a top 8 finish and earn direct qualification for the round of 16. Real Madrid now are 16th in the standings on 12 points and have secured qualification for at least the playoffs, but would need to win their last game at Brest and rely on other results going their way to finish in the top 8. After winning a record 15th European title last season, then signing France star Kylian Mbappe in the off-season, it probably should not have been such a drama for Real Madrid to reach the knockout stages in the new Champions League format. But here we are. 3 losses in 6 games to Lille, AC Milan and Liverpool that left Madrid in the 22nd place at kickoff Wednesday. But before they swatted aside Salzburg 5-1 to rise onto 16th.
We are never going to have issues scoring goals with Mbappe, Vinny, Rodrigo and Bellingham. We'll never have an issue. So it's better to focus on defensive work, which is where I think we need to improve. No, I don't think there's much we can do. We have to play the last game and try to win it to see where we get. It's really tough, almost impossible to reach the top 8, but we can't think about it too much. We have to try to beat Brest and see where that leaves us in the standings.
And Vinicius Jr. reached 100 goals with Real Madrid in their team's 5-1 victory over Salzburg. He scored his 99th and 100th goals, and according to UEFA, moving him into 3rd place in the top Brazilian scorers in the Champions League with 28 goals in the competition. Neymar leads the way with 43, with Kaká second on 30. Madrid said Vinicius has 101 goals for the club, with Spanish media saying the discrepancy dates back to a Spanish league goal that many considered an own goal and should not count for the Brazil forward. But that's not to say that he is been fantastic for Real Madrid. Oh my gosh, this was an incredible game because Paris Saint-Germain clawed back from 2 goals down to stun Manchester City 4-2 in the Champions League on Wednesday and leave the English club outside the playoff places and in danger of elimination. Who would have thunk it? Goals from PSG's Ousmane Dembele, Bradley Barcola, Joao Neves and Gonzalo Ramos turned the match on its head after City had taken the game by the scruff of the neck. Substitute Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland, they struck in the 50th and 53rd minute to give City a 2-0 lead. But fans who braved the torrential rain at Parc des Princes were treated to a brilliant comeback by the hosts. Dembele latched onto a cross from Barcola to sweep home a goal in the 56th minute. Barcola levelled 4 minutes later when he tucked in a rebound. Right after Desire Doué, his blistering shot came back off the crossbar. PSG parked themselves in City's half and took the lead in the 78th minute when the visitors' backline struggled to clear Vitinha's free kick, leaving Neves to head in at the back post, and Ramos then added the 4th in stoppage time. PSG have climbed to 22nd in the points table, while City, who hoisted the Champions League trophy, who picked the Champions League trophy in 2023, but they've just won 2 of their 7 group games and they've dropped to 25th, 1 spot below the playoff qualification spots. Karim Benzema and Al-Ittihad, they added another home win to their streak with a 2-1 win over Al-Shabaab in Jeddah on Wednesday. Abdul Rahman Al Abouth, he put the home team on the board first when he scored off a rebound after a shot by Benzema It was deflected in the 32nd minute. Benzema then doubled their lead during the first half stoppage time when he was set by winger Ahmad Al-Ghamdi. Al-Shabaab got on the board immediately after that with a close-range goal from Harune Kamara to close out the half to 1. Al-Ittihad had some additional chances in the second half but failed to capitalize on them. They're now 9 for 9 at home for the season with only a single loss and one draw anywhere so far. They sit in second place behind only Al-Hilal with both teams on 43 points from 16 matches with Al-Hilal ahead on goal difference. Okay, big match coming up tonight in Europa League. Manchester United are aiming to take a big leap towards the Europa League round of 16 when they face Rangers in an all-British affair tonight. United were the top team when they played Rangers 15 years ago with Sir Alex Ferguson, but that was another time. It's not the same team, and this team is struggling. The new manager, Ruben Amorim, recently branded his own team as maybe the worst in club history after United fell to a 3-1 defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion in the Premier League on Sunday. United, who've lost 7 of their 15 matches since Amorim took charge in November, are 13th in the Premier League, but they are unbeaten in Europe and sit in a strong league phase table position. They are 7th in the table, 1 point and 1 place better off than their upcoming opponents. On the eve of the match, coach Ruben Amorim said he was criticizing himself more than the players when he labelled his team as possibly the worst in the club's history. The 39-year-old Portuguese said he was frustrated for not being able to help his players produce better results.
I was talking more for myself than from my players, because I was talking that, and you have to find out a coach that starts a job and lose 8 games, I think, 7 games in the first 10. So it's more for me. I was talking more about me than the players. I also talk in the same response about I was not helping my players. And if you look around, every time I speak, and I speak a lot, every time you push about the players are not good enough, I never put the spot on my players. So I understand. I gave you that headline, and I'm frustrated sometimes. And sometimes I should not say that in that terms, but it is what it is, and that's it. Sometimes it's really hard to hide the frustration in some moments. But the good thing is that I said the same things in a different way in the dressing room 5 minutes before. So the response was quite normal because I'm really blunt with my players. And they train well, they are ready for this game, and let's see tomorrow. No, was not. I didn't think. That's why. I'm a young guy, and sometimes I make a mistake, and that's why I don't talk about after the game. This game, I needed to talk, and maybe it was a mistake, and then I get more nervous and go to the conference really nervous.
I think as players, obviously after the game, we was really frustrated, disappointed. Coming off the back of a good away performance and then beating Southampton, going into the game, we was confident and we felt like we had the belief that we can go and beat Brighton, and ultimately we didn't perform well enough on the day. So we've got to look at ourselves. We've got to take responsibility on ourselves. And as an individual, that's what I do. I go home and think about how I can help this team improve and get back to where we want to get back to, and that's challenging a lot higher than we are in the league. So for me, it's about us players just taking responsibility on ourselves and improving individually, which will help the team improve.
7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton got his first taste of driving a Ferrari at the Fiorano circuit on Wednesday as he joined Charles Leclerc on the track. Hamilton, the most successful driver in Formula One, he got behind the wheel of an older car, which is a Ferrari of the 2023 season. And he got behind the wheel of that car. And as he started testing and getting used to his new team ahead of the upcoming season, the Briton was thrilled. He said it was one of the most exciting days for him. The Briton will partner Leclerc at Ferrari, who are without a driver's title since 2007, taking the place of Spaniard Carlos Sainz, who has joined Williams. Now, the official testing starts in Bahrain on 26th of February and will go on till 28th of February. But Hamilton's been excited over it. He said, when I started the car up and drove through that garage door, I had the biggest smile on my face. Hamilton said it was his first drive in the Ferrari since joining the Italian team for the 2025 season. Now, after that, he headed over to the fans who had waited for hours in the wet conditions since early morning for a glimpse of him behind the wheel. He was wearing a jacket of Ferrari red. He waved, gave a thumbs up gesture, put a hand to his heart. Hamilton's mother was among his family members on hand for the occasion. And he said, I've been lucky enough to have many firsts in my career, from the first test to the first race to the podium win and championship. So I wasn't sure how many firsts I had, but driving a Ferrari car for the first time this morning was one of the best feelings of my life. Now, Hamilton has shaken up Formula One with his move to Ferrari after 12 years with Mercedes, where he won 6 of his 7 world titles. But there was excitement, not just for him, but for fans, because they were seeing one of the biggest F1 stars. And so it's a huge moment for him. And let's see how the season goes. The 40-year-old British driver set out for his first lap at 9:16 a.m. local time in light fog, and twice waved to the crowd of around 1,000 spectators who had gathered on a nearby bridge. Well, let's see whether he can turn Ferrari's fortunes around. With that, we've come to the end of this bulletin. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.